Okay, hello everybody. Today's date is, I believe, January 17th, 2016, and I'm in San Diego, California. I live in La Jolla. And what I'm going to do in this video is basically, I guess, probably just regurgitate some things that I've talked about before. And this is also going to be, the first part of this video is going to be an addendum to a video I made the other day and haven't uploaded yet. And what I'll do is, if I don't title it right away, even that one, even also that one that I made the other day as well, you probably should be able to link them together in reference to which this one, this part that I'm getting ready to talk about, is connected to in reference to the other video because of what I'm going to state in this one. I just got to this area, so I apologize. I'm all sweaty and my hair is all messed up, and I'm going to light a cigarette, and then I'm going to get into the meat and potatoes pertaining to this video. In the other video, I made some detailed statements about the criminal motivations of why they make gang stalking targets homeless, the methods and tactics used, and so again, like I said, this is what I'm getting ready to do right now is a complement to that video. What they will also do in gang stalking is not only when they make the target homeless and then stage events to bring the police or any type of law enforcement to your camping area so they can give you tickets for illegal lodging, illegal encroachment, trespassing, stage assaults, including tickets and arrest, so they can then use the courts and the corrupt organized crime public defenders and prosecutors office to start keeping a record of how long you've been homeless, so they can then later use it against you for illegal syndicated probate control, for racketeering, massive violations of the RICO Act, massive insurance fraud, and human trafficking. Now, what they will also do is, because they know, see, this crime is a crime of opportunity, which means that when they select their target individuals, they will even look at the relationships that the target has with their family, look at the type of relationships the target has with who their friends are, so they can see how bad they are, how good they are, how stable they are. So they can then deduce, based on how they know they work, in reference to how easy it will be to isolate the victim once they start openly targeting the victim. Now, make no mistake about it, they work on that as well before the open harassment starts as well, and they will even target different members of the targeted individual's family without the open harassment, in order to keep them tied up in different types of things that they have to do to correct what's happening to them, all of it being covertly managed and created and managed, like covertly blacklisting one or two of the victim's family members, so the victim can't run to them for help. And there's absolutely a lot of other different things that they can do to siblings and parents of targets in order to make sure, it's called divide and conquer, basically. So when they start the open gang stalking and the escalation of their crime towards the target will have no one to run to. Let me light this cigarette real fast. Now, organized stalking and gang stalking, which I've stated in most of my videos, is nothing but organized crime in the system at the federal, state, and local level. And it's also networked out within the community, and the community who is not part of the syndicate can also absolutely be influenced to do things that the syndicate will tell them to do through intimidation, the influence that's behind their jobs, that comes with their jobs, law enforcement, including at the federal level. So they can basically get the participation of anybody as a result of how gang stalking works. Slander, fake bogus criminal investigation files, law enforcement intimidation, law enforcement lies. So to give you like a preliminary introduction in reference to just one small aspect about how gang stalking works, you can, in reference to what I just described, you can go to YouTube and type in "listen to a stranger." Now, what they'll do, one of the main ways that they get this illegal syndicated probate control and or institutionalization is to make a target homeless covertly. And I've already discussed that in many other videos. So you can go back and watch my other videos. You can also go to Google and type in UCSD and Law Library, Are They Networking Gang Stalking? There's plenty of videos, massive evidence in that blog, just massive. And the evidence that's in that blog is not even 0.001% of the evidence that I have. It's black and white, in your face, indisputable. the point being as well is that there's also videos in that blog that will show you the blog textually through words, written words, explains to you what this crime is about, and there are videos in that blog as well, so that way I don't have to regurgitate it. So basically, hold on. Basically, this section of this video right here is an addendum to that video that I was just telling you about. And if I remember to, I'll go and I'll copy and paste at least its URL link in the description of this YouTube video, so you'll know which one to look out for. If I haven't done that, just go inside of Exposing Social Services YouTube channel, and you'll find it. It was uploaded. Oh, it hasn't been uploaded yet. It'll be uploaded on the same day this one's uploaded. Okay, so just look for it. Now, alright, so check it out. It's the one where I'm talking about how they covertly create the homelessness for the probate control and stuff like that, and how law enforcement's used for and the courts are used for it. Now, alright, hold on. Now, another added feature in reference to how these little filthy criminal sewer rat maggots operate is because they're in the system, so they know how the system works in reference to, i.e., getting the syndicated probate control for these aforementioned exploitation purposes, criminal motivations. So what they'll even do is, after they have covertly created the homelessness and how they can covertly keep it managed, to give you an idea of that, you can go to Google and type in Erica Dean Gilmore. She's got a PDF link online that's, so just go to Google and type in Erica Dean Gilmore space Freedom FCHS. And it's basically a PDF file showing that how they creatively made her homeless by flooding her ceiling of her bathroom. She complained about it multiple times to her landlord. He wouldn't fix it intentionally, and then they worked in collusion with the city property inspector to come in and deem the And then basically what they did was, through a syndicated city housing inspector, they had him come in and deem the apartment uninhabitable, because organized stalking and gang stalking has to make it appear that what they're doing towards a target is being done for normal apparent reasons and excuses. And once she got evicted, her main goal, instead of being able to legally go after the property owner and the city inspector, her time was occupied in getting off the street. And that's another clever method of gang stalking, is that they will do what they do. They do a lot of different methods that intentionally are designed to keep the target tied up in the busyness of the effects of the circumstances they create. Hold on a second. Because they are in the system, and they know that usually to file a lawsuit, and especially a criminal one, there's a statute of limitations. So when you're homeless and you don't have nobody to depend on, even if you got a child like she did, her time was consumed by trying to find another apartment and to survive the ongoing gang stalking. Okay, so basically what they did was they created the homelessness of her through these normal apparent reasons and excuses, and then tried to set her up into prostitution. She went and applied for other apartments, and one of the landlords that she filled out an application for, when she went back on to check the check to see if the application was okay through him, he told her that a man approached him and told her not to rent to her. And this is literally how it works, literally. So that should give you an idea how easy it is to keep the homelessness covertly created and ongoing. Okay, so yes, gang stalking is it's a crime that is extremely hard to prove. So what we target individuals do is we take our experience and cross-reference it to exhaustive, educated knowledge. Knowledge is data based on facts, and these facts come from the testimony of other real targeted individuals that are online sharing their testimony pertaining to what's happening to them. So you can go to Google right now and type in gang stalking, creating homelessness of targets, organized stalking, creating homelessness of targets, and you'll see it's one of their main objectives, because the homelessness is used in order to take advantage, to exploit it. The circumstances that are created as a result of the homelessness being created is then monopolized on, so they can bring the target closer to the exploitation. Absolutely, including corrupt law enforcement of any kind. Okay. corrupt public defenders' offices, corrupt prosecutors' office, absolutely, and even corrupt district attorneys and attorney general's offices. Okay, now you gotta remember, this is a crime that is perpetrated at the federal, state, and local level, working as a syndicate. It's a nationwide syndicate. There appears at this time to be two main ones that are operating on the east and west coast, and they will work together in an organized fashion in order to make sure that the target individual remains victimized in these criminal expeditions until the criminal motivation can be achieved, and it doesn't stop there. Once the motivation is achieved, the crime continues, because the whole goal for them is to take the target from A to B to C to D for the exploitation, and the only way that they can bring about the exploitation is through the continued crime, okay, in an isolated environment like a group home. Now, I've already talked about how false mental diagnoses come about. Staged police officers are actually involved in that big time, because they can petition, and the courts as well, including through, but not limited to, prosecutor's office, public defender's office, county mental health, doctors in area neighborhood hospital psychiatric floors, even private practices, psychologists and psychiatrists. If you want to get like a real good hint of how this is possible, you can go to Google and type in California Coalition, Family Coalition, and look at what they're doing to Stuart Cole. They're using every type of psychologist against him and his family like you would not believe. Now, while Jan Goldsmith, the San Diego prosecutor's office, is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in San Diego taxpayers' monies to do it. He's nothing but a criminal, filthy maggot, and getting away with every bit of it. Now, fellow American citizens, basically what they will do is keep the target homeless for even long periods of time, 4, 5, 6, 7, even 10 years. The target individual might periodically within that time period get an apartment, but they'll just lose it again. Now, you got to look at it this way. Remember at the beginning of this video I said that this crime is a crime of opportunity. They go after the poor, minorities, single women, single mothers, the elderly, the disabled, people on fixed incomes like pensions, usually retired or close to it. And the reason why they do this is because they know that what they plan on doing to a target before the homelessness is even created. The homelessness was created in order to exploit it, okay, by illegally GPS tracking the target to their camping area, to their hiking area, to their resting area, and then staging assaults. The assaults can be so bad to where they know the target will even call the police, including robberies, including even rapes. They will use anybody and everybody that they can in order to be the buffer between the target and law enforcement in other types of staged events, because the police have to have a normal apparent excuse and or reason to approach the target at these areas, so their involvement isn't so transparent. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is that after the homelessness is created, they'll keep it managed for a while. Now, they know that most of the targets are poor, okay, or they're made poor once they become openly targeted. Even before they're openly targeted, like they can be already blacklisted from employment, and that can create the homelessness as well, because they got to use normal appearing reasons and excuses to create the homelessness. Otherwise, it can be backtracked and realized by the target that this shit is happening intentionally, even though the target's already smelling it. Okay, because patterns of behavior start to develop. I've been gang stalked to at least 6 apartments, at least. 6 apartment buildings, motel rooms, motel managers can be brought on board in these campaigns, any type of landlord or property owner, any type, even if it's just a room for rent. Okay, now, the reason why I kept on bringing up the poverty, that targets are either induced into poverty through their covert blacklisting, robbery, and the robbery can happen through anybody, a lowlife, a police officer, a corrupt doctor, a corrupt security guard at a psychiatric floor, corrupt police in detention centers can steal their belongings once they're arrested and taken to these detention centers. But the point being is that the target individual might get sick of being homeless, and so they might, if the perpetrators, see, their thinking is this: they know that most target individuals have been brought to very close to financial destitution, to the point to where they barely have anything. They're lucky if they're able to get food stamps, because the perpetrators will even attempt to take them off of food stamps and keep them off of it. Absolutely. Make no mistake about it. They've done it with me in Michigan, and they absolutely have tried to do it to me here in San Diego. Because in order to human traffic somebody even on the street for a while, which can then also be used to get the probate control by claiming the targeted individual is involved in prostitution, has been arrested for it numerous times, they're homeless, they won't take any services we're offering them, even though the target will absolutely be gang stalked to a homeless shelter, domestic violence shelter, women's shelter, any place that they try. It's nothing but a false choice. When these police officers approach a target and say, here's a card for some services you can go to, it's not services. They're basically being led to go to somewhere for documentation purposes. The gang stalking will start once these papers are signed, in order to mentally motivate the target to leave, so the target can try and find a spot to where they can have some peace. Then they will then act like, through another staged event, they will act like they're re-stumbling across the target at their camping area and say, well, we offered you all these services, why didn't you take them? Because I was gang stalked there. What's gang stalking, Les? We don't understand. Are you mentally ill? And they'll make falsified police reports, information sheets, and incident reports. Now, they also might let the target individual get a apartment after the homelessness is created. And the reason why they do that is because you can go to Google right now and type in social services and gang stalking, social services workers and gang stalking, social security and gang stalking, and social security workers and gang stalking. And the reason why they'll do that is because, like if you're somebody who's somewhat dependent, okay, on social services, like I only get $16 a month of food stamps, and then they pay for my Medicare premiums, okay, because I'm Social Security disability. So in order for them to know how much food stamps they give you, they look at how much money you have every month through Social Security. They then adjust that to all your bills. If you don't have any bills because you're homeless, then they'll give you a little bit of food stamps, but they have all this shit documented. So once the target then goes back and gets an apartment, if the gang stalking perpetrators allow it, which they're only doing to benefit them, which I'll explain in a minute, it's so that social services will have on documentation, target got apartment, kept it for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, then lost it, came homeless again, possibly even repeat the cycle again, let them get another apartment, then they lose it because of the gang stalking. And they do that so the documentation can show, so they can try and fit what's on the documents pertaining to getting an apartment, losing it, getting one, losing it, to fit in with the story that they attempt to use in court, that the target individual is mentally ill because they think they're being stalked by people they don't know. They get in they have a long chronic history of homelessness, and they keep getting apartments and losing them because they think that they're being gang stalked to them. And they can prove to the court how the target got the apartment and then lost it, based on, because when the target loses the apartment, they go back to social services and say, well, look, you got to readjust my food stamp balance, how much I'm allowed for, because I no longer have these bills, or otherwise social services will intentionally act like they're catching up with them and then claim that they committed fraud, and then ban them from future food stamps. This is literally how it operates. So you can go to Google right now and you can type in social services and gang stalking, social services and gang stalking, social service workers and gang stalking. And it's basically nothing but a syndicate operating within the system using their employment descriptions to achieve these criminal motivations. Judges are absolutely involved in this shit because they're told what not to do and what to do to a target, working in concert privately with, in collusion with, the prosecutors, the public defender, and the police. And any or all medical and mental records, because they can even petition Medicare for any prior mental and medical help. You would not believe what I know. You just would not believe it. So basically what I'm telling you is that these are the literal, actual, factual, literal methodologies of gang stalking. This crime can also be called organized stalking, so each description I described in this video can be cross-referenced to that as well, separate searches pertaining to, like, social services workers and organized stalking. And so these are the clever covert techniques that they will engage in order to use the homelessness, the complaints about being gang stalked, law enforcement, the corrupt public defender and prosecutor covertly colluding together to make sure that the target's rights are violated, that all evidence is ignored, And you would not believe the evidence, so go to that blog. Go to it, man. I swear to God, if you go to that blog, I guarantee you right now, you go to that blog, you will be glad that you did. Absolutely. So this is an addendum. What I just described to you is an addendum pertaining to the additional methodologies that they incorporate within the schemes that I've already discussed in other organized stalking, gang stalking videos I've made pertaining to exposing the techniques, methods, tactics, maneuvers, and criminal motivations of these organized stalking, gang stalking, criminal expeditions. My name is Leslie Williams. I made this video to inform, to expose the truth. Now I want you to consider something else. Here, law enforcement, including public defenders, prosecutors, DA's office, attorney general's offices, and police officers, they are being paid for through our tax dollars. They know what crimes they're breaking. Absolutely. Conspiracy under the color of authority, gross negligence of duty, conspiracy, filing falsified police reports, falsely arresting a target, false imprisonment, falsely petitioning the target in county mental health. Absolutely. They will do anything and everything in order to make sure that their participation in these crimes are called anything but crimes. Okay, by labeling the targeted individual as being mentally ill, a threat to themselves or others, or a combination of both. And the fact that they try and claim that the target can't take care of themselves. Think about it this way. Law enforcement, in the aforementioned descriptions that I just described, the DA, the public defenders, and so on, these are individuals that a crime victim is supposed to be able to run to for help. Okay, now, this crime has been covered on national radio shows, which I've even been on. Those national radio show links are in the blog that you can click on and listen to hear me literally on national radio shows showing how I'm being gang stalked, showing me describing an aspect of it on multiple ones and other national radio shows that I've been on different dates. This crime has also been covered on multiple different types of radio shows and local news broadcasts. You can YouTube that and Google it. Research this crime extensively and you will see that what I'm telling you is the absolute, literal, in-your-face truth. Now, we're supposed to be able to run to law enforcement for help. So when you request on at least 30 different occasions to 99.8% of the time, different police officers per occasion, 2 per each occasion, and they all deny your right to file a police report and won't investigate it, you have a pattern of behavior starts to develop. Then when you see how they're used, how they will absolutely, completely ignore in-your-face audio evidence of you being gang stalked, people literally yelling to your face, gang stalking, I'm gonna fuck you up, while it's being yelled, it's caught on a tape recorder, and then played the audio file of it, and they completely ignore it and act like they can't hear it, even though the individuals that were yelling it right to my face were standing as close to me as this video camera is right now, and then when it was played to them, it was played literally right to their ear. Now I'm referring to the Thanksgiving event, which is enclosed in the blog that I discussed in this video. So you can, and the evidence in that blog, again, like I've already stated, it's in your face. It's literally in your lap. Okay. So when you look at this evidence, you will absolutely walk away, even just with common sense deliberations, that I'm literally being gang stalked. They literally even sent me text messages to my phone. 3 letters in the mail. One of the letters literally say, we've elevated your gang stalking to level 4. Okay? So when you look at the indisputable evidence that I'm being gang stalked, and then the police totally ignoring all my requests for help, i.e., which also brings about them not investigating it, leaving me in the victimization of it, yet they'll come to my hiking areas, resting areas, and give me a ticket for illegal lodging, illegal encroachment, or trespassing, and or arrest me for it. Then what does that tell you? Now go to Google and type in police and gang stalking. Then go to Google and type in organized stalking and police, organized stalking and doctors, lawyers, judges, fire department personnel. And I think you will conclude that these individuals are involved in these crimes covertly and at times directly, while they make it appear that everything they're doing towards the target individual is happening for normal appearing reasons and excuses. So, do you have any idea how easy it is through the illegal GPS tracking of a target's cell phone and covert physical surveillance to track a target to an area that they know that the target's using to at least rest at? Okay? They will then prop up a homeless man to approach that target at the area, or wait until the target leaves the area, and then the homeless man will go to that area and set up a campsite close by. The target individual will immediately notice it once they get back to that area, and then they'll stage an event. Then they'll plant a witness, using anybody from a neighbor to a student to even a kid. And they will be used to call the police, or that homeless person will be used to assault the target or steal the target's property to provoke an incident, and then either the target will call the police, or they will, or a third party will. This is so the police can have a normal appearing reason and excuse to come to the area where the target's at. But first what they do is allow the target, the perpetrators time to leave the area. They've done that every single time I've been assaulted. Every time. Okay, so fellow American citizens, you know, you can go to YouTube and Google and type in gang stalking and human trafficking. I'm here today to tell you right to your face, I'm a grown woman. I'm old enough to have a 30-year-old child. Okay, I'm not mentally ill, I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I don't sleep around, I don't steal, I do not hang around one person at all. I don't cause problems anywhere I go, okay? I don't do anything illegal, immoral, or anything. I am the victim of this crime and a target concerning it, and you better believe I'm an activist concerning it as well. Now, the reason why I mentioned that I'm old enough to have a 30-year-old child is because I'm old enough to know what reality is. Even an 18-year-old enough to know. But these assholes, including the police and the judges and the prosecutors, try and make you believe that what you're perceiving as happening to you is not really happening, and that your complaints are based on a mental illness is nothing but completely nonsensical, absolute, total bullshit. But they just believe that all we gotta do is say it, and what is she gonna do about it? What is he gonna do about it? Because they know that they're connected to the public defenders, the prosecutors, the DA's office, and the judges. It's an up and operating networked criminal organized crime syndicate group within the system that has tentacles out within the community. Okay? Like case in point, every single business I've been into, I've been harassed. I just left Ross Grocery Store off of La Jolla Village Square, and gang stalk was caught repetitively being said there again. It's been caught in at least 100 audio files at that particular Ross Grocery Store by employees, management, and people coming in and acting as customers. Now, do you really think, and I predicted it would be said around me before I even got there in my tape recorder. Again. Fellow American citizens, I don't know about you, but the only way that these people could be propped up to say this shit around me, which is their way to mentally harass me that I'm a victim of this crime by repeating certain words and phrases around me every day, everywhere I go, these words and phrases being identical, being said in the same way everywhere I go. That's no mistake. And tape recorders can't have a mental illness, so go to that blog, okay? So, see, the police know that once they truly admit that I am being gang stalked and that leaves every place that I've been gang stalked at wide open for lawsuits. It leaves them wide open for lawsuits because I complained about this crime on August 18, 2011, and today's date is January 17, 2016. I've been gang stalked along every single one of my routes every single day, harassed in the same exact way every single day, including at camping areas, including even by San Diego public defenders and prosecutors. They were caught as well. Right on audio, they were caught saying the same exact thing that I experienced at camping areas. That were multiple videos were made about it back in 2013 and 14. Same exact words and phrases that were said inside at UCSD and along all my routes. Those videos were already published all over the internet before I caught the prosecutors doing it and the public defenders doing it, wide openly doing it, caught right on audio. Do you really think that that's a mistake? I don't think so, because the words and phrases that are being said around me are peculiar. They're not words and phrases that everybody says every day. Gang stalk, oh my god. Gang stalk, weird. Gang stalk, oh my god. Gang stalker, oh my god. Gang stalking. Gang stalk, suck my dick. Do you really think, buy a tape recorder and walk around with you for a week, it running non-stop when you're out and about in the community, and then go back and listen to it and see how many times you hear even gang stalk being said once. I got over 1,000 audio files of it being said every day, everywhere I go. Not including 7 different people admitting and confessing while the tape recorder was running that they were putting my physical presence to engage in specific gang-stalking physical gestures. They're sensitization methods, so just Google it and you see I'm telling you the truth. So, you know, when you have all this, and that's not including the MTS assault video of me being assaulted on an MTS bus, and the fact that the assault video is altered by MTS, and the police report concerning that assault falsified, and facts omitted. So go to that blog and see what's happening to me. Okay? And these sick, criminal, filthy, maggot, rat-ass animal whores, police officers, who are being paid for even through my taxes when I buy something, had the audacity to come in my fucking physical presence, and please excuse me for swearing. I got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos all over the internet, okay, in separate YouTube channels, and you only hear me swearing about not even 1%, okay? But the point being is that this crime is enough to make a preacher cuss, okay? Anyways, you know, when you have every aspect of your life completely destroyed from every angle, assaulted, I've been assaulted 7 times, my credit completely ruined, and you can't get no help from nobody, from people that are supposed to be helping you. Instead, they're literally being used to victimize you and to aid and abet in the criminal expedition. You think about that for a minute. And lawyers can also victimize targets of this crime as well. Now, in closing, my name is Leslie Williams. I live in La Jolla. Go to Google right now and type in gang stalking. Now remember, every description can also be cross-referenced to organized stalking. So go to Google and type in how they will hack into our cell phones and reroute our phone calls, hack into our email accounts and reroute our emails, hack into our Twitter account and reroute our tweets on Twitter. So, do you think that maybe this might be a possible way that targeted individuals can't get a hold of any actual lawyer? Because when you go to a law firm, 99.8% of the time, the lawyer's going to be out. So his receptionist will tell you to call back or to leave your phone number. Well, they're not only rerouting our phone calls for help, they're also intercepting phone calls for help. Google it. It's all over the internet that they do this. It leaves us in the isolation of this crime. Okay? And if you're homeless, how is a lawyer supposed to find out where you're at? Okay? And, so anyways, there's some good lawyers, high-profile lawyers here in San Diego County. And since they can't keep an accurate track about who's watching my videos, anybody could go down to them, call them, lead them to this video. Dan Gillian, Mary Frances Prevost, Ezekiel Cortez, personal injury lawyers, police misconduct lawyers. I live in La Jolla, California, San Diego County. You could also direct these individuals to my blog, and inside the blog shows my Twitter handle. Okay? And at least 50% of the time, I tweet where I'm going for it today, for the day. So I can be found. Okay? My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California. If you take the time with a mature posture to investigate every single statement I made in this video, you'll see I'm telling you the truth. Because what I did in this video is explain to you the methods, tactics, and techniques of organized stalking and gang stalking concerning how they operate. You synthesize the information that comes up through the research per description. And you will conclude that I'm telling you the truth. Think about it this way. Let me just, I gotta go. I was gonna make some additional statements, but I gotta go because it's getting late. Fellow American citizens, I've been trapped in this crime openly now since at least 2002. Okay, there's victims on the internet that have been victims of this crime for 25, 30 years. Research it and you'll see I'm telling you the truth. You know, the one thing I like about making my videos is that I know I believe that there's got to be people out there that are mature, okay, that will take the time to listen to what I'm stating. And I'm not just stating this because I want people to know what's happening to me. I'm stating this so you can research this crime, because this crime is happening in every state, county, city, and town, and neighborhood in the United States. Anybody can be victimized with it. You would not believe what I know. You just would not believe it. All right, I got to go because I got stuff to do. Let's see if I'm arrested in the next 60 days for trespassing, illegal encroachment, or illegal lodging. Forced to move by them propping up homeless men to approach me or camp out close by me. And let's see if I'm psychologically motivated to move by them propping up homeless social deviants to camp out close by me. That's right, because homeless people are easily bought off, they're easily relocated, and the police can easily say, how can we find them, Leslie? They're homeless. Police ain't nothing but a bunch of criminal, filthy liars, man. It's sick. It's friggin' pathetic. In closing, I also want you to know that police can be victims of this crime as well. So you can research that too. Like the Hemet Police Gang Squad being gang stalked. That's on YouTube and Google. Okay? Alright, fellow Americans, I gotta go. Please pay attention to what I said concerning them intercepting our emails for help, our phone calls, rerouting our phone calls. We can't get no help because it's you wouldn't believe how easy it is to isolate us in these crimes because of our communications and our mail. Our mail is intercepted as well. Mail that we get and mail that we mail. It's how they created the homelessness of me, by stealing my rent. Rent that was mailed, certified mail return receipt to the United States Postal Service. That's right. Google postal workers and gang stalking. Mail theft and mail delayment and gang stalking. Alright, I gotta go. I'm in San Diego, California. If you had the time and the inclination, anybody can easily write a letter, send a fax to a law firm, directing them to this video and the blog title, UCSD and Law Library Are They Networking Gang Stalking? My name is Leslie Williams. I'm a good woman. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.